What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dolphins Daily, your daily dose of Dolphins content with your boy Chris Kane. Let's talk about the Dolphins. This is the first time all year, really since we've had the show, that I can say back-to-back victories. I don't have sound effects. I'm not that fancy, but back-to-back wins. This was a woof. This was a hard game to watch, and I'm on the West Coast, so I had to wake up at 6 something in the morning. And I was like, all right, let's wake up to see some domination. And that's not what I saw. It was very much a, what are we doing right now? Okay, we got it. Seriously, it's a back and forth kind of affair. We'll start with the good. The Dolphins won. There you go. The defense was very good in terms of not giving up a ton of points. The ball was moved on the defense all game, but that's neither here nor there. Won the game. No turnovers for Tua. So he had two last week, arm punts. We talked about it. None this week. We will take that gladly. The running game got established. We kept the score low. The defense really just bucked up a number of times when they could have just faulted because, things were getting a little dicey at points. They got the win, kept the season alive. Whatever you think about that. There are parts that I did not love about this game, and some of them were old habits that I thought we had kind of gotten past. I saw reemerge. The running game or the run defense was not great. Washington had over 170 rushing yards today. That's too many yards. During the early part of the year when we were the worst run defense in the league, we were giving up about 155 a game. So they had 170 today. Now that includes Mariota's run, but still. Chris Rodriguez averaged over 5 yards a carry, and it wasn't a lot of 10, 12-yard carries. There was a lot of consistent 5, 6, 7-yard carries. He was, throughout the game, just getting nice runs. I'm like, who is Chris Rodriguez? I know I said before, Rico Dowdle before. Rico's turned out to be a very good player. Chris Rodriguez is not that good of a player. I stand by the Chris Rodriguez slander. But they weren't great against the run, and there was virtually no pass rush for most of the game. We got one sack for the whole game, and that was off a blitz. Bradley Chubb, I thought, was doing good pushing in the middle or good pushing off the edge, and sometimes he stunned it and came in the middle. But Mariota looked real comfortable. And so last week, we harassed Buffalo on the line. Josh looked so uncomfortable. I thought, wow, can we generate a pass rush with no Jalen Phillips? That would be awesome. And no Chop last week. We got Chop back this week. And most of the game, no pass rush. Couldn't stop the run, no pass rush. But luckily, Washington's kicker decided he had money on the game because he missed 2 field goals, which gotta love it when the other team's players betting on the games. But that's joking. I don't want to get Matt Gay in trouble. But he missed 2 field goals, and we won the game by a field goal. So theoretically, if he makes his field goals, they probably won the game. But we just didn't do a great job at those two main things. And I didn't think the offensive line did a particularly good job at critical rundowns. We had one or two 3rd and 1s, maybe 4th and 1s that we got conversions, but we had a lot of, all right, y'all, they know we're going to run, we know we're going to run, and then we couldn't run. And that's the metric I set for whether you can run the ball or not. We know you're about to run the ball. We're stacking the line. Run the ball. And if you can run it, then you can run it. If we don't think you're going to run it, you got 4 receivers, you do some quarterback draw or, delayed handoff and you get yardage. Yes, you ran the ball and got yards, but that doesn't show me that you can run the ball. That shows me that you kind of tricked the defense. There were times when we lined up in heavy package. Ollie Gordon said, we're finna run it, and we weren't able to run it. We had a number of our goal line offense up to this point in the year, every goal-to-goal situation, we scored a touchdown. We had twice in this game that we did not. And it wasn't accidental. It was we just physically couldn't get it done. We'll get more into why we went for it later on. But overall, happy with the win. It was one of those bittersweet wins where you're like, we won, but if Jaden Daniels had played, it would have been rough. If Terry McLaurin had played, oh my goodness. Even if Luke McCaffrey had been out there, you start thinking of how fortunate we are to get this draw at this time with this team. And you take the victory, but you don't feel as good about it as you want to feel about it. Once again, Achane steals the show, right? Last week, over 175 yards. This week, 165. So he had an off game. 21 carries, a buck 20, easy. 45 yards receiving. He led the league. He led the team in receptions, and he obviously led us in rushing. He was effectively a bell cow. I said it last week. Get this man the ball. Any little lane, that boy's moving. And I got nervous earlier because he got, I think, an ankle injury. Like he was limping off the field, and I was like, oh man, Devon's out. And then like the next possession, he was just back out there fast again. So I'm guessing he got rolled up on, he got retaped, and then got back on the field. But when you see a fast guy like hobbling, you're like, because speed is the name of his game. He's not super strong. He's stronger than he looks, but he's not Ollie Gordon, right? But he consistently was breaking 5-6 yard runs. He had a play, I think it was a tunnel screen, where Tua throws it to the right side of the field. He caught the ball, and the defense perfectly read it, strung it out, and he ran to the sideline, put his foot in the ground, and then broke up field and got like 8.5, 9 yards. And I was like, this dude, that should have been a 4-yard loss. And instead of being 2nd and 14, it was 2nd and 1. And I was like, that's why you feed Achane, because he can do special things on the field. It's the reason why I talked about him getting a contract extension, because he's a guy you build around. You don't teach that kind of speed. And he sees where he needs to go. There are fast guys like a McCole Hardman type player who's really fast, but doesn't always know how to use his speed. Devon uses his speed very well. He knows how to throttle down. He knows when to accelerate. He's got good cuts. Just awesome effort once again. He's still in that Pro Bowl campaign. I'm not off this. And no one's really talking about it in a big like media landscape yet. I hope they start, because now Miami's winning a couple games. Because that's what would have kept him out before. If he has a great season but the team is playing terribly, then it's like, all right, you're playing good on a bad team. Should you go to the Pro Bowl? I mean, Joe Burrow did last year, so whatever. But if you're playing well and your team is like middle of the pack, but you're clearly the best player, which he's clearly our best offensive player, and one of the best running backs in the league, one of the best weapons in the league, and he's consistently now putting, like early in the year, Bijan Robinson had a couple games where he was getting like $173 touchdowns. Like Devon is not getting as many touchdowns, but he's doing the all production thing. I just got done watching the Philadelphia game, and Jahmyr Gibbs was just everywhere. Over 100 yards receiving, like 67 yards rushing. It was like, oh, this guy's the offense, because no one else can do it. That's what Devon is doing. And if he can keep doing this consistently through the voting and rest of the season, then I think you will for sure see him in some of those Pro Bowl talks. That would just be a good little, I don't know, little treat to the fans, because the playoffs are most likely out of the question, but having a couple players, him, Jordan Brooks, getting recognized with some level of postseason award, I think that would be awesome. So we'll see what happens with that. But Devon balled out. Shout out to Devon. We love it here. I will say this. I generally like aggressive coaching. I like coaches that attack. It's the reason why I like watching Detroit play, because they get after it. It's why I like watching Philadelphia play, because they get after it. I do not like watching teams like Cleveland, because I feel like they don't go after it. Even when Coach Stefanski was winning Coach of the Years, I don't like watching the team. Miami, despite having a genius offensive coach and amazing offensive talent, Tyreek's hurt right now, but whatever, we've had great offensive talent. I feel like Coach McDaniel has always been actually kind of conservative as a coach, and it bothers me, because I'm like, you're so creative and we have the weapons, we should be more aggressive. We should be. And if it's 4th and 3, that punt is on its way. You can just go ahead and, it's something that Baltimore does, which I don't understand. They have Lamar Jackson. They're like, oh, 4th and 2, punt it. Like, what do you mean punt it? Just run the play. What's going to happen? You have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They just don't do it. Buffalo is even not super aggressive. Today, Coach McDaniel decided, I'm hitting the gas. And it may be that it was 3-7 going into the game. It may be that the commissioner's in the building. It may be, listen, what we've been doing hasn't been working. Why not try something new? He consistently, inside the red zone, said, I'm going for it on 4th downs. And the way it did not work for Detroit today, it generally did not work for us today. Like, Ollie Gordon got his touchdown, which we appreciate, but there were a number of times when an easy field goal was on the board, and he said, no, let's go for it, and we didn't get it. I know a lot of fans today are going to be like, oh, take the points. If you take the points, we don't go into overtime. But you got to believe in your players. The defense has been playing really well the last few weeks. When you go forward on 4th downs, and when you go forward on 4th and goals, and when you get more aggressive, what you're saying is that I know the other part of my team got my back. I know special teams got me. I know defense got me. I'm not playing scared. If we don't score on 4th and goal from the 2, then my defense has their offense backed up. They'll get the ball back to me by midfield, and then we'll just run it back. You don't think they're going to run 98 yards down the field because my defense got us. Now, if the defense does in fact give them 98 yards, then you can second guess it. But I would err on the fact that I trust my defense. But more than that, I trust me and the offense. I'm here because I'm an offensive genius. If I can't get 4 plays inside the 8-yard line and score a touchdown, then I didn't do something well. Like maybe someone wants to block, which happened a couple times. Maybe a running back slips, which happened. Maybe the snap is not great. Okay, fine. That doesn't mean I'm a bad coach or that we're a bad team. It just means that we didn't execute some things well. I like aggressiveness. I've thought forever we should be more aggressive. And it didn't work out most of the time today. You know what? I'm not mad at all about it because this is how you build up your team. Dan Campbell went for a 4th down, I think 5 times today. I was just watching the game. I was like, they're going for it again? And it's the idea that, hey, their defense bailed them out, I think 4 of the 5 times they didn't give up any more points. And then one time, Philly scored. But it's like, we play like this. We got all these offensive weapons. We got the quarterback. We got the running back. We got the offensive line. We're going to go for it. And there's a lot of times when teams will punt and they don't punt and they get wins. And then when you play conservative and you kick the field goals like Seattle did today against the Rams, just, hey, we're going to do a field goal fest. Well, guess what? You lost by a field goal. And maybe if they'd gone for it a couple times, it could have worked out differently. I'm just a fan of being aggressive. I like, hey, we punt it back to them and they got to drive it 80 yards to win the game. Or if I get a 4th and 4, I end the game right now. I like going for the 4th and 4. If I got the personnel, I feel like I got to play dialed up. I have a good read on our defense. Go for it. In the long run, I think it works out better. Yes, in the short run, you'll be second guessing. Yes, people will try to excoriate you and say you're a bad coach and you're too aggressive. I like my old school punt on 4th down, no tush push. Fine. I just think in the long run, being aggressive on offense pays off. I think the best teams are, and it works out for them. I think we've been too conservative. I hope Coach keeps doing it. I hope he doesn't get scared off by this and doesn't push the gas more and more. I think if you're inside the 5 and it's not like we're down critically late in the game, if it's like the first quarter and it's 4th and goal from the 2, why not go for it? Set the tone. I just believe in that. Now I could be wrong. Analytics may say something different, but Coach went for it. He thought I had to play. I thought it was going to work. It didn't work. What are you going to do? So we are 4-7 right now. And the question is there any hope left in the year? There's a lot of nonsense going on in front of us. The Chiefs are 5-5, which is just inexplicable to me. The Texans are 5-5. The Ravens are 5-5. We've already lost to the Ravens. We don't play the Texans this year. And the Chiefs, I think strength of schedule is not crazy. They play the Colts next week, so who knows? That could work out in our favor. The division is basically out of reach because the Patriots are 9-2. So we're not winning the division. And the only chance to make the playoffs is to win out. And we need teams like Jacksonville, probably the Chiefs, maybe Houston, to all start falling back to the pack. The Chargers, I feel like, would get in because they've already played the Chiefs once and beat them, which is a big deal. And they already played the Broncos once and beat them, which is an even bigger deal. So they have some divisional tiebreaker kind of situations. But I think, is there hope? Yeah, there's less than 10% hope. But 2 weeks ago, it was 1%. It may be at 8.5% now. I haven't looked at the real numbers on it. But a lot of those teams in front of us play each other, right? Baltimore's got to play Pittsburgh twice. So one of those teams is going to win the division. One is not going to win it. And so you can say they're going to eliminate each other. You can say Houston has to play Jacksonville again. And, Houston is still trying to get their quarterback back. Who knows what they're going to actually do. I assume the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs. I can't not assume that. Until I see Mahomes not make it, I'm assuming Mahomes is going to make it, period. So let's pencil the Chiefs in. I do not believe the Jaguars are that good of a team. I generally don't. And I think whoever plays them in the first round feels like that's free eats. That may not be the case. I think that's how they feel. But, yes, is there a chance? You have to go 5-0 down the stretch. Or 6-0, really. You got to win out. That's because you lose one more game. Now you introduce teams like Cincinnati back into the fold. And, they are probably getting Burrow back at some point this year. So and we play Cincinnati late in the year. So it may be a situation where when we play Cincinnati, that may be whoever wins that game has a chance to make the playoffs. Whoever loses it is effectively eliminated. But there's hope. Yes, less than 10%. We have a bye week. We should be the healthiest we've ever been following the bye. Can you run the table? And I still very much believe that last game of the year for the Patriots won't matter. I think they'll be locked into their seed. Is that 1 or 2? And I'm counting that as a win because I don't think they're going to try. We play the Jets again, and I think the Jets are trying to lose because they want the number 1 pick. So I think the last 2 games of the season, you can already count those, which means we really have to go 4-0 of effective real games. That's Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Tampa. I mean, these aren't easy games. The Tampa game scares me the most, but there's a chance. And you say there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance. I'm not saying there's a lot of chance, but there is a chance. I think we need to stay with the run game. We had over 30 rushes today. Tua had 20 passes. That feels like a 60-40 split. I'm just saying, been saying it all offseason, regular season. That's the formula to win. I would love a bigger pass rush. I don't think we can beat Pittsburgh or Cincy or Tampa without a pass rush, but maybe that'll come along after the bye week. They'll figure out some scheme things. There is some hope. Less than 10%, but there's some hope. But as always, y'all, thank you for tuning in to Dolphins Daily. We appreciate the love and support. Thank y'all for the likes and the subscribes. We'll see you next time on Dolphins Daily. Peace.